Hey, it's Alex Radcliffe from BoardGameCo, and this is my wife, Rina, who's showing up today. This was basically something that someone requested doing one of my first live Q&As, and I thought it wouldn't happen, but it turns out she's actually totally willing to show up on camera and talk about her 10 favorite games. And so, in true BoardGameCo fashion, she couldn't get the list down to 10, we got it down to 13, and so I explained the rules. The rules are, if you can cheat, if you can find ways why a game is not actually technically eligible, then you can exclude extra games in your top 10. And so we did that. And so if you want to start off with your first 3 ineligible games.
Well, one of my first 3 ineligible games is actually not here.
Which is the first cheat.
Right. So because it's not here and I can't actually show it to you, my number 13 is Enchanted Plumes, which I think I played a good 5 or 6 times.
More than that. When we had it, so that was a prototype we had, and we played it at least 5 or 6, probably closer to 10 plus.
Yeah, except the first 3 we played wrong.
Playing a game wrong is totally allowed.
Okay, because we were all playing by the same rules, just to be clear. So, yes, we played it a bunch of times, and not only did I play it with my husband and a friend of ours, I was also able to play it with my daughter, which made it a lot easier, because it is hard for us to find games that we like to play together, and that are easy to play together, and that have table space to play together. So that definitely made the ranking for me, but it's my cheating one, because it's technically not here.
You can't possibly include a prototype that's not even here in your top 10 games. That's just cheating. So instead we're cheating.
Exactly.
In any case.
Number 12, counting back, is For Glory. And as I pick it up, I can hear all the pieces moving around. For Glory,
thing on the channel.
Where it's also a cheating game because I only played it once.
Yeah.
And I was learning how to play the game as well. So it's not my full-on count, but I really, really enjoyed it. I liked the back and forth of going through. I tend to seem that I really like to find games that are combat-based in which I can create a very brutal team. In which I can, murder the other opposing team, which in this case was him. Speaking
of which, I'm just going to point out, I don't see a certain game here that has a lot of brutal team creation.
Which one? Oh, shoot.
No, you keep going. I'm going to go get another game because I realize now it's the top 14. Right. I will keep going. You keep talking about For Glory.
I really, really enjoyed For Glory. I really do enjoy making a brutal team. He is right. There is a game in which one of my most favorite things about it was creating a very brutal team to take him out most of the time. And it was very enjoyable. I think we're on our second run through of that other game. But yeah, so I really like this game. I like the different ways of building the team. There were a few issues that I had with it, but for the most part,
we had some small issues. So this
really
is one that is also not actually, depending on when you watch this video, I don't actually know exactly when this video is going up, but I have a review coming for this one on December 5th. Obviously, we'll get more plays in before we do that review, but effectively, this is one that's going to be available shortly. It was a Kickstarter game. It's by Spielcraft Games. I was actually surprised that she wanted to include this in her top 10. I didn't realize she liked it that much. I liked it, but I had enough complaints. I think we had the same complaints.
We did. Yeah, it was more on the card design and certain elements of play in which we felt that one person could just, start around when the other person was like, I'm not ready yet.
We'll go through it in the review, but the short version, this is a 2-player head-to-head gladiatorial combat with deck building and a lot of fun characters, which is a lot of where the fun comes in. It is a good game, solid game, really enjoying it. Again, I didn't realize it was going to be this high for her, but that because it's only one play and because things can drop, they have that initial high, that excitement. So again, we couldn't possibly include this in our top 10, her top 10 games.
Indeed. The next top 10 that cheating of my top 10 is Pandemic Legacy. This is Season 2. This is actually my second round playing Season 2. We did Season 2, then Season 1, and now we're doing Season 2 again. I use it as my cheating one because
it's a legacy game.
It's a legacy game. You can't really, you play it again. If I want to play it a third time, I'm going to have to buy an entirely new copy. So
again, you can't possibly include a legacy game in your top 10.
No.
This is the first 2 were easy to find a cheat for. This one we really had to look through because, it's just cheating. It's just cheating.
Really
and in any case, cheating. Now that we're going to be moving on to your actual top 11 games because we forgot one.
Right. Then, okay, so starting with number 10 is Istanbul. To be clear, I think I prefer the Istanbul with the coffee expansion on it.
Mocha and Bakshish.
That one I really, really like. I like the elements that the coffee expansion brings into it. It really will turn around the entire game. I think I actually won one of the games by just playing 2 coffee cards, one after the other, and just utterly destroying you and the other people we were playing with.
Yeah, Istanbul is a fun one. Istanbul is a very interesting game because for me, this is going to be going on a separate list that I'll be doing myself of top 10 games I was wrong about, which effectively are going to be a bunch of games that I got rid of because I played it once or twice and didn't feel the promise, but then got back and have now become staples in my collection. And Istanbul very much is going to fall into that category. For me, like yourself, the base game was fun. I enjoyed the base game, but the Mocha and Bakshish expansion, we have not played with the Letters and Seals expansion yet. There's another expansion. Yes, exactly. And there's a big box, I think the big box is just the same stuff, just in a bigger box.
There was another version of this game that we played first.
We played Istanbul Dice. Yes.
Yes, I really like that one also. It's gone, isn't it?
It's gone.
Yeah, I had a feeling.
Yes.
It's okay. That happens.
Yeah, but the Mocha and Bakshish expansion adds just enough extra to the Istanbul game that it turns it from being a very light and accessible gateway game to giving you just enough extra options that now I feel like I want to play it again and again instead of being, hey, that was fun once.
I also like that it's different every single time, that I can start out being like, okay, this is going to be my strategy, and then I'll get a card, and then I'll be like, nope, gonna do something different. Also, I like that one person can all of a sudden be winning, and then that stupid little piece of wood comes out, and then you bluff me, now I'm not winning, or I find another way around it. There's just lots of different parts of the game that I like, that one person can all of a sudden be completely in the lead, and then everyone goes to block them, and then another person just sneaks around, and then wins.
Yeah, that little blocking pieces from the Mocha and Bakshish expansion, it's a little annoying piece that gets in the way of other people's sequences, and really, well, it's great for blocking someone who's about to win the game, and then sneakily getting in your own win.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Right,
go ahead and grab that. Grab the other one. Grab Obsession. So Obsession is the one she's sneakily moving off to the side because of the fact that we forgot a game, and so
exactly.
I feel it's worth including.
Yes, I really enjoyed Obsession. The first time we played it, we did it as a 3-player, and then the second time we did it as a 2-player. I can't tell you really which one I enjoyed more. I definitely felt with the 3-player version, I got more done. And I got more VP cards. It could be that because there were more people and more people were buying things, it was a little bit easier
the market cycled.
The market cycled a little bit more, and it was a little bit faster, so I was able to get the pieces that I needed to win out a little bit faster. The one part that I dislike about this game is that for those VP cards, for those objective cards, where they'll ask you to get like a specific tile, and you're like, hey, cool, I'm going to get 15 points if I get these 2 tiles, and then you hold on to it the entire game. It's a really large bag of tiles.
But it's also a chunk of points. It's like 16 points in a game that goes to like 100.
Yeah, but
out of one card.
I know, but it's really hard for me to just focus on that. I think it'll be easier to focus on like those little ones where you get 10 people or you get a point per prestige, or the one that you had was like 1 point for every 2-player one. That was really, really strong. Like that is a much more powerful objective card than just getting 2 tiles, because I got 1 North Library, but I didn't get that main library. It never came out.
So something we haven't actually done. So Obsession is a deck building worker placement game, but not the same as other games. It has deck building more than it has deck hand management as opposed to deck building, and it has worker placement, but all on your own tiles. You have workers, they shift in their availability, you place them on your own tiles as you slowly but surely host events in Victorian England. It's very Downton Abbey, the board game, just without any licenses associated. You're courting the nobles of the general population, whatever it is. It's all that stuff. You're building up influence, friends, prestige, and all that. Something we haven't actually done, I don't think, in any of our plays of Obsession is no one's actually yet done that area where we pay for of our reputation or whatever it is to cycle the card market. You did it?
Did you?
Oh, never mind. Someone did it. That was last game.
That was last game. Not this game. But we did realize we could do it, and when we did that, both of us got our tiles.
So it gives you options. There are options to cycle the market in order to get more tiles from the game and hopefully get what you want. It still very much is risk reward, but that's why, I mean, I had an objective card that gave me 5 points, and there's an objective card that gives you 16 points. So it's a gap.
Well, the reason that I didn't spend my reputation in the last game is because I had a card that gave me 7 points for having the max reputation, and I wasn't going to waste my reputation to go get on the off chance that I might get that 1 tile out of the bag of like 60 that were left.
Yeah,
wasn't worth it.
I hear. So this would be, I guess, I don't know what the numbers are at this point. That's number 9 out of 11, apparently.
Okay, now we have the Lost Runes of Arnak. Is this a prototype out game?
This is not a prototype. No,
it's actually out?
So it's available for pre-order currently. We got it from CGE. CGE sent us a copy to review, which I'm thankful for, and it is an awesome. You can do your thing. You talk about the game.
I will say that now, whenever we do play a game, I'm like, what kind of game is this? Like, it's deck building. I'm like, no, that's not what I meant at all. I'm like, is this a prototype? Is this a finished copy? Is this an early copy? I'm like, I just want to know what I'm playing before I go in, because then I can, think about what my complaints are after the game, because if you tell me that it's a prototype and I have my 3D renderings of it and it's not the final piece, then I'm going to have a little bit of a different thought on it. I went into this game really thinking I was going to hate it. Quite honestly, I was slightly in a cranky mood. We had lost power that day, and it was really rough
There was
afternoon.
a little tension at the beginning of the game, yes.
Yeah, but I surprisingly really enjoyed this game. It's a deck placement, worker placement?
Deck building, worker placement. This one
yeah.
actually is deck building, worker placement.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I liked the first game that we played this twice. I requested the setting up again.
Yep.
I really enjoyed it after the first time that we played it. I wasn't expecting to like it, and I found that I could get all these cool artifacts that would let me do another thing, and then I had this really cool card that let me double whatever I was getting, which let me have this whole pile of coins, and at the end of the game, I'm like, well, do these coins count for anything? I don't think they did.
No, but
so I just bought lots of items that gave me, I think, like another 10 points by the end of the game. And again, this is a game that I don't think we've really fully explored all the different strategies that you can play in it. Like, I focus more on defeating all the monsters, and I got 20 points from that.
The Guardians.
Sorry, the Guardians.
I've been calling them monsters the entire time.
They're called Guardians?
They're Guardians.
Coolness. So I, spent a lot of time defeating the Guardians when, Alex went up and just tried to go up this cute little track where he got lots of points there. And I was like, okay, so my measly 20 points of fighting my Guardians. He got negative 2 points of fear and then got like 60 points going up the track. So I was like, all right, well.
Well, it depends. We had different games. In the first game, you won because you were mastering the whole center field much more.
Correct.
And the second game is when I focused heavily on going up the track, and I think we realized it's probably more impactful there. But it is still juggling
I want to
everything.
try. I'm very curious to see. And then there's the assistants and this and that. So it really also depends, like, again, as it is with all deck building, it's like, well, what did I pull in my hand that round? And was I able to then get more cards to let me do more things? And, there was one turn I don't think I got a single fear card, so I couldn't go anywhere.
So, well, no, that's because I taught that first game I played it wrong, remember? Yeah, the first game we played, we forgot that I didn't realize or know that the icons that let you move. It's a deck building worker placement game. You're trying to use your deck to place your workers on various locations for their movement icons and then cash in the cards for their various abilities as well. Beautiful game. I did a full review on the channel. You can check it out. But effectively, in our very first game, we did not realize that the movement icons could be downgraded. In other words, there's different tiers of movement icons, and we were like, oh, we got rid of our fear cards, so we have no boots, so we can't go to the center, the beginning locations. But you could actually downgrade all the symbols to a lower level automatically, so a car or a jeep or a boat will still get you to those entry locations. And so that...
I really thought about
that was
thematically
my fault. Thematically, it makes sense. It makes sense, but yes.
Either way, great game. Really like it. Can't wait to play it again. Okay, where are we up to? I don't even know what number we're up to. Are we up to 8?
It's
7?
number 7. 7. It's hard to keep track because we have extra. It's 7. It's 7. Oh, no.
That one is supposed to come on next. Yeah. Ha. This game. Love it. Super Fantasy Brawl. I like this game so much that I read the rules. I did a terrible job of teaching them, to be fair, but I took them out. I sleeved all the cards. I read all the rules like 2 or 3 times. Did a horrible job of teaching the game because I'm like, I don't remember everything that I read. He did a much better job teaching it, but I really liked it. Again, this is probably falls into that category of me liking to build brutal teams to absolutely massacre you, and I really apparently do have a pattern there.
But to be clear, you read the rules before you even knew you liked it. It just looked cool.
It looked really cool. I definitely tend to lean towards more of the fantasy-ish
miniatures
attacking, but I also really like that other game, which is more medieval.
We'll come back to it.
But yeah, so I really enjoy this. I've played it 3 times now. 2 times with Alex, 1 time with a friend, in which he actually really destroyed me on that game. It does come down to, again, it's a deck building. Well, not really. Not really.
No, you have these 3 characters in the game.
It's a combat game.
It's a combat game. You start the game, every player drafts 3 heroes, and then with those heroes, you're going to combine their deck of 6 cards each to give you a pool of 18 cards. From there, you are trying to ultimately win the game through getting 5 points. Those will come through either defeating enemy heroes or alternatively getting various objectives on challenges on the board. That's basically, again, I have a full review on the channel, but...
Yeah, the challenges will always vary, so it's interesting that there was one of the games that I played, I actually got 2 challenges in 1 turn because you messed up.
Yeah, we covered that as well. The very first game we played, there's a double deck, there's 2 decks of challenges, so instead of being 11 challenges, there's actually 22 with duplicates, and that's because if you got the whole Deluxified Kickstarter, they actually gave you enough components to have 2 games going simultaneously. And so they're nice enough to include extra cards. They were not nice enough to include a note saying, don't use those extra cards. And so our first game, when she won, you won the very first game by completing 2 of the exact same identical challenges for 2 points each.
Yes.
Going from 1 to 5 points in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I think all it was that I just got my opponents to your side of the board and boom, 4
it
points
was
straight
totally not fair at all in the slightest. But
I will definitely also say that depending on, like, as with all drafting card games, when you pull your deck, it sometimes is the luck of whatever the hand that you pull, and sometimes again you can pull a few cards. This game does have a way of allowing you to plan.
Sure.
So if you get a card that you really like, you could put it away by spending a blue token to put that card away. But I also found that I chose in all 3 games. I think I chose the exact same character because I really liked him, my tiger.
Yes.
Again, like someone with claws. I do have a pattern.
The tiger's insane. He can, like, in a single action, he can just bloody everyone who goes next to you. So you can start off the game and instantly take your opponent's health down to half on half their team.
It's lovely.
Yeah.
But yes, no, so I really like him, but I found that depending on what the opponent, what characters you choose versus what characters I choose, like last game I played, she had chosen one of the characters that I used the first game, and I found her, like, she's a nice character, but I barely ever use her, and she, like, completely destroyed me using her.
Yeah, which one?
The creepy snake lady.
The creepy snake lady is awesome.
Yeah,
she doesn't do a ton of damage, but she has the most control from any of the other characters, which makes her an annoying character to pick, because you're like, I wanna kill everyone, but that's not how you win the game.
No, she just, like, kept poisoning me and, like, kept doing it. It was really annoying.
Nice.
But yeah, no, so it's a really fantastic game. I really like it. I like the different aspects of it. I like the fact that I'm fighting and trying to destroy you, and I'm like, ping, 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 now you're dead, haha, I win. Versus the using the challenges that all I have to do is move my pieces here, here, and here, and I'm like, okay, now I have 2 over here, and I have 1 that's standing by the statue, boom, 3 points. So it's a great game. I really like it. Okay.
That would be Super Fantasy Brawl. And so, next up, number 6, I think? 7. Number 7. Again, fictional numbering system because it's a top 11, apparently.
Right. We have Bunny Kingdom! I love Bunny Kingdom. I will just say that I don't know how many times you played this before. You finally introduced it to me. But the first game I played it, I'm like, okay, cool, I ran out of bunnies, now what? And he's like, well, that's never happened before. No one has ever used up all their bunnies. What on earth are you doing? I'm like, I have cards.
So Bunny Kingdom is going to be an area control drafting game in which you are trying to get locations on the board as you draft cards that will give you anything from endgame scoring to different tokens that will give you abilities such as castles or mines or who knows what options. And then a big chunk of the cards, 100 of your roughly... I don't know how many cards there are. 100 of your cards will represent territories on the board, and that's just one of many things you want to be going for. And so the game does have rules for what you do if you hypothetically run out of bunnies, because it's not actually a limited resource. It's just every time I played it, until I played it with you, people took a mix of cards to a larger degree, and no one ever ran out of bunnies.
I think it's because the first time I ever played, the very first card I got was like, for every bunny that you have on the board that's on the edge, you get a point. And I was like, cool, we're going for that.
You can circle. You can get a chunk of points for that
I did. I got like 45. It was awesome. And then I also got the one that lets me get all the 4 corners, like the next turn. So I just
that's another 12 points right there.
Yeah, so I just went straight for the area control. I will note that I've never actually won this game.
Have you not?
I have never won this game. Because I keep just trying to go for area control, and I really should probably branch out just a smidgen into
Maybe that's why you should be going less for bunnies. Yeah, for me, I love the cards in this game that give you endgame points for a variety of different things. I usually stack up a mountain of those diploma cards. I don't know what they're called. They're called something.
I think they're called diploma cards. I think so.
Whatever it is.
No, parchment.
Parchments. Yeah, the parchments. The parchment cards. Yeah, this one is amazingly fun. I think the biggest problem...
The artwork
is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous.
I love the artwork. That's probably also one of my biggest draws into this game is I love the artwork. I love the drafting component. I like the area control. Clearly love the area control. I really like the expansion for this game because I like all the
Cloud Kingdom.
The Cloud Kingdom is all fantasy and pretty and, cutesy, and I like that. And again, I always go for like, okay, well, those are where I also get a chunk of points. Because I get all the cards, the parchments that go for the area control of the cloud, and then I will heap up like a whole boatload because I'll get like 5 points for every row.
Yep.
And then I'll like kill a whole bunch of cards that way. But yeah, I really do, again, like this game. I don't think we taught this one to Ricky yet.
We have not. Ricky has been wanting to play this one, but every time she wants to play it, it's with someone else, and we need to get a 3-player game in which we teach her. Honestly, a 2-player game, I just teach her how to play it. That'd be good.
How to play it. I'll do a terrible job at it, but it's fine. Anyway, but yes, so I really do enjoy Bunny Kingdom. This was number
7.
7.
Which brings us to number 6, and I'm going to start grabbing because they're on my side.
Indeed. So we have Spirits of the Wild, which is a really cute 2-player game in which I don't even know how to describe this. It's not area control. It's not drafting.
It's set collection, but it's not set collection on the board. It's not set collection of cards or something like that. It's set collection of the spaces where you put your gems.
Yes. So we have played. I think I've actually played this more than you have.
You probably have, yes.
I think I've played this maybe 6 times by now.
Possibly. I don't know.
You and I think played
played it like 3 or 4. You played it with Ricky. You've played it with our friends.
Right. So I've definitely played this game a few times, and one of the reasons I do really like this game quite a bit is the versatility that it allows me to play with. Like, I'm able to play this with you as an adult game where it's a little bit more cutthroat, though Ricky can be.
Oh, it's cutthroat.
Ricky can be quite cutthroat when she wants to be. I've also been able to play this with our daughter. I haven't yet played this with my son. He keeps asking, I keep offering, and just the timing never works out. But I like the fact that I can play this with an adult and have a great time. I like that I can also play this with my kids and have a really good time. It's a really easygoing game. It's really easy to explain. It's very simple. The artwork is beautiful. The cards are very interesting to play with. I love all the little, like when you have to reset your cards.
The spirits?
Yeah.
The spirits, yeah.
The little spirits that give you like these cool things. You're like, all right, well, you can pull 4 of the gems out of the bag, but in the game there are those. Oh yes, they are the what is the word for it? It's not the translucent, it's the other one. Opalescent, in which it was, I have to say, quite amusing, where Alex was like, this is a translucent game piece, and Ricky is like, no.
This is how it works. Ricky said, oh, those are opalescent. And I was like, actually, they're translucent. And she looks at the rules and she's like, nope, they're opalescent.
And she looks at it, yeah, she's like, nope, these are opalescent. It says it in the rules, to quote her from before.
This is setting a disturbing trend for the channel that is not a good look for me.
I'm just saying she clearly has an eye for detail. Just gonna say that. Just one time. Anyway, so she really also enjoys this game. She and I have played it a few times. I think the last time, I don't remember who won the last time, but she really just really likes it. But, you never know what you're going to get whenever you pull the gems out of the bag, and that could just immediately end the game right there, then and there.
Yeah, because the game end triggers when you have, ultimately it's a set collection game where you're drawing gems from a bag and using different cards in front of you to put them in different pools on your side of the player board. There's a little bit of blocking with a coyote, and then the game will ultimately end as soon as a game turn ends with, I believe it's 5 gems, 5 opalescent.
5 opalescent gems. As soon as that 5th one comes out.
Well, not as soon as it comes out,
you finish the turn.
Yeah, but it has to stay at the end of the round, because there's things you can do to put it back in the bag, and so that's
which we have done and extended the life of the game. There was one time we just kept playing and playing and playing.
We almost filled the whole board.
We almost filled the whole board because it never came out, and we're like, where is this gem?
Yeah, but that variable game end really makes the set collection significantly tenser because you don't know how far to push what you're trying to get.
Indeed. Yep. Solid game. Really enjoy it.
Number 6.
Okay, so this is one of those games, again.
These are, by the way, ranked in order of least to most, by the way.
Correct. Yes, this is, number
6.
No.
It's confusing because there's one off to the side on the floor.
It's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, fine, whatever.
Anyway. Or 5. Wait, you're right. No, you're right. It's 5. It's number 5.
Details, honey. Details. Anyway, so this is one of those games that I played it twice. And I said, I hate this game. You can get rid of it. I never want to play it ever again. And the next morning I came down. I was like, remember that game that I said that I really hated? I'll play again. And ever since then, I have adored this game. I really like it. We have played both versions, both the
Blitzkrieg, the base version, and the Nippon expansion.
Yes, and I really like it. Oh, there was that one time where I won by completely cheating because I forgot a rule.
Yes, that is true.
That did happen.
Attention to detail, sweetie.
Indeed.
Yes.
It goes both ways.
So Blitzkrieg basically is a 2-player head-to-head combat game. This is going to be designed by Paolo Mori, who actually designed one of my other favorite games, Dogs of War, with similar elements. I didn't actually realize that at the time. When I found out who the designer was, when I realized, I was like, oh, that makes sense. Lots of things in common. It's 2 players where you simulate World War II in 20 minutes by going in different areas of battle and basically attacking each other, putting down different tiles in order to both trigger the tiles ability as well as the placement locations ability. You're going to keep doing that until you win or push your influence in different spheres and eventually get enough points to get to 25.
The other person out, basically.
You could choke the person out
by just keep destroying just keep bombing them. Oh, I think I did that one time too.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun when you can bomb the opponent.
Yeah, it's really nice. And then sometimes you get like the cool like the science cards. So there's like one time I set Godzilla on you. There was another time I had the atom bomb. That was really nice.
Oh my gosh, the atom bomb, is that from the base game? Yeah, that's from the base game, not the Nippon.
I think so. The Godzilla is from the
Nippon expansion.
The Nippon expansion. Yeah. I really like this game. It's quick, it's easy. I can set it up by myself. The rules are very easy to go. In the very beginning, I'm like, this is just a stupid, dumb game. And then I'm like, I really like this game. The strategy is really nice. He's like, I don't understand what happened.
Yeah, this is one where I use this as my reference point nowadays whenever I'm like, remember, before you are so critical after that first play, just remember Blitzkrieg. Just remember that one. It sometimes helps.
It does. It does put in. He's like, well, what changed? I'm like, I slept on it. He's like, that's it? And I was like, I thought about it a little bit more. That's all. I enjoyed it. All right.
Number 4.
Codenames. How much we love thee. I think we have almost all the versions. We don't have. There's a lot.
There's Disney. There's Marvel. There's all these offshoots that aren't that good.
We don't have the offshoot ones. We have Codenames Duet, and Codenames Pictures. I don't like the Pictures one as much.
Yeah, the Pictures one's okay. It's good for variety, but the regular Codenames and Codenames Duet are the best versions in our opinion.
So I can tell you how much we love this game, to the point that when our youngest was born, and we were in the hospital for the weekend. He was born on a Friday, so we spent the weekend in the hospital. My sister came and watched our other 3 children, and he walks in and he is carrying a pile of games into our hospital room. I had just given birth like 10 hours earlier, and we spent the weekend playing Codenames Duet, and I don't remember the other game we were playing. There was another one.
Another one we played a lot of? We played a few. I played Onirim. You played Codenames Duet. We played Crusaders. I don't know what else we played a lot of.
I just know we played this game a lot. And I just remember the nurse coming into the room, like in the hospital room. Baby had just been born. He's laying nicely, sleeping in his little cot, and we're just sitting there playing Codenames Duet. I think I was laying in bed, and we had like that table that was like over. That table was perfectly sized for Codenames Duet. Oh, that's the game where I played Stake. Yes, it was a great clue. I said steak, and there was cow, and steak 2, and there was cow, and it was Joan of Arc. Yeah. It was a great clue. I still remember that was a really good one.
Because I saw cow right away, and then I was looking on the board. I was like, I don't see anything, and I was like, whoa. And I was like, I don't know if this is the right card or not, but either way, I'm guessing it because it's the best guess. And I turned Joan of Arc. She's like, yes!
So and that was his comeback after our first few games of playing, in which I gave the clue fruit. And he said, oh, fly. And I was like, there's literally apple. It says apple. And you choose fly over apple,
which is fruit 2, and she had like apple and something else.
Lemon or something like that.
It was another fruit. It was maybe an apple and banana. Who knows what it was? But this is before you, when you play Codenames. Codenames is a guessing game where you give a clue that you're trying to guess different cards that the person's going to get. And ultimately what you're trying to do is you want the person to, guess what you intended them to guess. So you want to go through all the cards before you guess. That's something I know now. At the time.
Yes. Now you have learned that, and we made a rule beforehand that he reads every single word, and then he's like, I'm not guessing, I'm just reading over. He'll like tilt them to the side just as he's thinking. But yes, I really
I went straight for fly. So I fruit. I was like, fly, boom, and then she's like, no.
But yeah, I really enjoy this game. It's really fun. I enjoy the mental games that you have to play where you're like, well, that's my death card. I know it says 2/2, but that's my death card. And I also have dance. So I have to figure out how to get him to say dance without him guessing 2/2 because that's my death card. Yeah. So I really enjoy that. And sometimes I think there was one time we played that we had a losing streak of like 7 in a row. It was
Codenames Duet is like, we win this game probably 30% of the time. I think we've been getting better recently.
I think so.
But yeah, there are difficulty modifiers, but we don't use those. We don't
do those, no. Mm-mm. But yeah, it's a solid game, which can also be played with children.
Yes,
enjoyably.
Totally. Okay, so I think I've been guessing this right because we didn't pre-order that other one, but I'm guessing the one that we forgot is coming now. You tell me.
It's a really great question. They're really like on the same par.
Which one do you want me to
plug?
We'll
just do the one on the table first.
Really?
No, grab the other one.
Oh my, you sure? Now I'm not sure. Now I'm questioning everything I know.
All right, this is Rise of Moloch, which we are in our second run through. Again,
just to be clear, run through of this game means a single run through. The first time we played it, we finished the full campaign, which is 6 missions, and then the second time we played it, we actually did a longer campaign of 9 missions. I think we're 2 away from the end. I think we are, and we just kind of flatlined.
I don't know why we stopped.
It's the problem with campaign games.
Was it a pandemic?
We have 4 children. I don't know. Pandemic. We got more games. I don't have a good answer.
I really don't remember. Either way, this is definitely one of my favorite games. Again, this is one of those games where he set it up and I was like, this looks awful. This looks like it's going to have a lot of rules. I am tired. I am cranky. I do not want to play this game right now. And he's like, well, it has cool characters. And I'm trying to remember. No, that was the other game. That was the other game. No, this one. No, yes.
I don't remember.
I can't remember now. You showed it to me and I wasn't thrilled with it.
You were initially not thrilled. I mean, the theme of this is demonic and pulling up, underworld characters.
Yeah, but it also has that like steampunky, what do you call it?
Vibe.
Victorian vibe. And I think the first round that we played, I had ultimately, I think he gave me like the calmer characters. And then later he's like, well, you can choose other ones. And there's this werewolf who I call my Wolvie. He's like my ultimate favorite character. I love him a lot. And one of the reasons I like him is because I think I did 27 damage to you one time.
This is a game where when you win, you're not done. You're not satisfied. You're like, no, I'm still counting up all my hits. And you're like, I'm dead. It's over. The scenario's over. You won.
But I sprinted, and then I attacked you, and then I mauled you, and it was lovely. And I really,
the characters in this game, this is a 2-player, it's technically not 2-player. This is technically a 1 versus many game, meaning you have one person controlling the Moloch side or whatnot. And they're against the other characters, which you could play as 1, which we have been doing. We haven't played this more than 2, right. But ultimately you could have between 1 and 4 other people controlling 4 different characters. You have to divide 4 gentlemen up against the demon character.
Yeah.
And so she's been playing all 4 of those. She consistently takes the gentleman, I consistently take the Moloch side, and then you just proceed to go through campaign after campaign, where the winner of each campaign gets an extra piece of equipment, which gives them a slight more of an edge towards that end game. So if you have someone who's going to win all 6 games, they will win the eventual end game as well, because they have all the extra stuff. Indeed. But if you have more of a balance back and forth, then it will be a tenser battle. The only campaign we finished, you won. The campaign we're in middle of, I think I have a slight edge.
You have a slight edge,
but it's not as obvious.
Creepy spider. Dude,
yeah, there's lots of the characters in this game are amazing. They're on both sides. They just give you abilities that are fun to manipulate and change the game state. The actual tactical battle back and forth is a lot of fun. This is a game that we played this at the same time we tried playing for the first and only time Star Wars Imperial Assault. I don't even know if you remember that one. It had line of sight rules. It was funny.
Oh, don't get me started on line of sight.
So and the 2 Star Wars Imperial Assault is an incredibly well rated, well loved game. But we played the 2 of these simultaneously, and we're like, there's no contest. We'd rather play this one. And granted, we only played 1 play of Imperial Assault, but one of them pulled us in, and the other one was like, maybe, but let's do this instead.
No, but like this one, and line of sight will always get me. I think whenever we have these kinds of game, and I was like, well, what's the stupid line of sight rule? There's a window, there's a door, there's a wall.
Yep.
I hate line of sight.
Yep.
So much. I'm like, well, you can't attack me. He's like, yes, I can. I'm like, no, it doesn't make any sense thematically. I'm on the 2nd floor, and you can't attack me with your dumb little bear. And you're like, he's a zombie.
It's actually amusing. Shut Up and Sit Down for Star Wars Imperial Assault. They have a little segment devoted in their review to making fun of the line of sight rules in Imperial Assault. So it is amusing, and you should watch that. You should watch that segment. It's a fun little clip.
But yeah, no, I really, really enjoy this game a lot. It has, I think, some of my most absolute favorite characters. I think, again, we played this game a lot, and the characters from my original first game, I'm like, nope, not getting rid of my symbiotic lady with her cool assault rifle. She does an amazing job. She always kills people. It's quite lovely.
This game's a lot of fun. The scenarios are very unique. The scenarios give you different options that totally shift up the game. Yeah,
that one, right there. Yeah,
they shift up the game. So it's an absolute blast. It is one of those. It's one of those underrated games that people don't really talk about or hear about, but we particularly enjoy it when we actually get it to the table.
Do you know what the problem is?
What?
There is a layer of dust.
I am aware of the layer of dust.
There is a layer of dust.
I would rather you not point out the layer of dust in the game in this video.
I'm going to sneeze. There's a layer of dust.
There's a layer of dust in the game. It's been like, the problem with games is if you haven't played it in a year, it's already enough for the dust to start accumulating, and the dust represents guilt. Just pure guilt.
Yeah. Ah, yes, Cthulhu. Again, another game that he's like, you like this game? I'm like, yes, I really do.
No, this one I actually, so when we got Cthulhu Death May Die, we had already played Rise of Moloch, and I already knew you liked Rise of Moloch.
That's true.
And so, instinctively, Cthulhu as a theme has never pulled us in any games. We have tried Arkham Horror and have no interest. We've tried Eldritch Horror and had a reluctant degree of, like, it wasn't the worst experience. I personally have played Arkham Horror, the card game. I like that one. Sadly, I got rid of it because there's too many games, not enough time. You never played Arkham Horror, the card game.
I don't think so.
Any other Arkham games we've tried? I don't remember.
Mansions of Madness. I think
I played that one.
I have this distinct weird memory of ever playing it, but I don't remember.
Oh, you may have played it with your brother, you said.
It's very possible.
By the time I got Cthulhu Death May Die, Cthulhu Death May Die was a game that I backed, and I still to this day do not know why I backed a game with Cthulhu as the main central focus. But the concept of punching Cthulhu in the face, as Eric Lang likes to put it, was intriguing. And so I got the game, and then I read the rules when I got it, and I was like, sweetie, you're going to like this game. It is everything you like about Rise of Moloch, and it's accessible and light and fun, and I was super excited about it.
I compare everything to this game.
That is the problem with games in general.
Yeah, but one of my favorite things, and I always come back to this, and Cthulhu is why I like it so much, is that on the little character sheets, you always have the powers accessible to you. They're always there. It's not like one of the what's that Marvel game that I don't like? The one with the cards.
Marvel Champions?
Maybe.
I don't know.
I don't remember. There's that one game that because clearly I don't like it, so I wouldn't care to remember what it was called. That you're fighting against Ultron.
Marvel United? Is it right there on the shelf?
No, not that one. That's the cute one.
So
I like that one.
So Marvel Champions, then.
That one, yes, Marvel Champions, where you're fighting against Ultron, and you have these cards, and like, these cards are lovely, their artwork is beautiful. I don't like it where I have to play card after card after card and stack them on top of each other in order to get like one teeny tiny little hit in, and it bothered me a lot. And I prefer in Cthulhu, where I'm like, I always have these powers available. The only thing I have to do to get more is just lose sanity, which you can, you know, play around with that to like make it work in your favor. Some of the time, other times you just die, and then, oh well, she's gone. Yeah, we have, there was that one round where we lost like 4 times in a row because we just kept dying before round 2.
Marvel Champions?
No.
Oh,
this
Cthulhu.
one,
Okay,
Cthulhu,
gotcha.
where we just kept dying.
Yeah.
Too early on, before whichever guy would come.
One.
Yeah,
the gambling expansion. The gambling scenario. Yeah, the scenario.
We've never won it.
No, we did. We finally won it.
No, we didn't.
I think we finally won it.
I don't think we did.
I'm not sure if we did, apparently.
I think we gave up.
We may have given up. I
Either
trust
way,
her at this point.
I really like this game. I like the fact that I can power up. I like the fact that I can have. We've always played this as a 2-player.
Yeah,
and so
2 characters each.
We get 2 characters each. And I like being like, well, which ones do I want to have today? Yeah. And some work in some games, and we can see like, well, I always ask them, well, what's the objective? Because if I have to run a lot, then I'm going to pick a guy who has more of
swiftness
or stealth, as opposed to I'm like, well, I just got to fight, so I'm going to pick one that has a lot of brawling. But I really, really, really enjoy
Yeah,
this
Cthulhu
game
Death May Die is I mean, if you've watched my stuff at all, you know how I feel about Cthulhu Death May Die. It is one of my favorite games. It's top 5 material for me.
Is there another expansion coming out soon?
There may no, I don't think there's any officially announced expansion. I think that I just put it bluntly. I've said, cool money or not, come on. I mean, I imagine they like success and money, and I imagine that Cthulhu Death May Die, with all the hype it has continued to receive since it landed, I think that seasons 3 and 4 of this game will crack $4 million.
Oh, you know what the sad part was? Where you're like, okay, he handed me the stack of characters, and I was like, and after we played a few games, I'm like, cool, are there expansions? He's like, oh, those are all.
Oh, I have 10 more coming.
You do?
Yeah, so there was a promo. There was a Cool Mini Not did a comic book line with a few comic books.
I remember that. When is it coming?
I don't know, but there are 10 more characters for Cthulhu Death May Die.
Story of my life.
Yes, exactly.
Story of my life.
I think it's at least 10. It might be more than that.
I ran out of
or maybe it may have been 10. I don't remember. There's a bunch of promo characters coming.
All right, and then for our number one game, which is Castles of Burgundy, which I know is a little bit surprising after like all of these like semi-light, heavy, whatever you want to call it, games. This game has been in our collection since we first started getting into gaming, and this is, is a newer version of this. It's much prettier in my opinion, but we've had this forever. In forever being
literally since
9 years.
So I have a video that, depending on when this one goes up, I've either already put out or not. I don't know the order sometimes, but I have a video talking about our gaming journey, like what brought us into the hobby and the whole thing.
Hexagons are the bestagons.
Hexagons are the bestagons. That's a different video entirely. But in that video, I talk about the first games we purchased. Literally the first 13 games we purchased.
Oh, you mean that time when you spent $3,000 and you came downstairs and you're like,
no, that took longer. That took longer.
Longer?
Longer. It was like $500 a month.
Yeah.
Yeah, $500 a month. That's what it was. But either way, in our first board game order, Castles of Burgundy was in our very first order. We have 3 games left from our first order. Do you know what they are?
Let's see, Castles of Burgundy.
From our very first order.
Very first order?
There's only 3 left.
I don't know. What is the other 2?
Pandemic and 7 Wonders.
Oh,
they were in our first order.
I could have guessed that.
And the rest have all gone.
Fascinating. Yeah, no, well, the other ones, some of the first ones we got were not meant for 2 players, and we just didn't know that.
So I cover that in the video. I talk about that a lot.
We had Shadows over Camelot, which was not meant for 2 players.
No, Shadows over Camelot wasn't in our first, but it was in our earlier orders. But there are a bunch of games, and then I talk about one that I'm sad that I got rid of, and I potentially want to get back.
Indeed.
Jambo.
Anyway. You like that one more than I did.
That's not true.
Oh, wait, Jambo, not the other one.
I don't know what the other one you're referring to is.
That's the one with all the...
Jambo is the one you get 60 gold.
Yes. Oh,
yes.
You got rid of Jambo?
There we go. Okay, I'm getting it back apparently. I said in the other video that I probably am interested in getting it back. I said I have to give myself 48 hours, and if I still want it after 48 hours, I'll get it back.
What if I still want it after 48 hours?
Apparently I'm getting it back.
You are.
I'm getting it back.
I'm sad right now.
It's okay, I'll get it back.
Okay.
Do you know that the Jambo and the expansions together are like $100? It's out of print. I'll still get it back.
Get rid of it.
I'll still get it back.
Fine. Anyway, back to Castles of Burgundy. I love this game. I love every part of it. I have won this game a few times.
You've won the game a lot.
Yeah, there was that one time with the sheep.
Yeah, the last time you said I haven't won this game ever, I pulled up my little stat thing. I was like, nope, you've won this game.
How many times?
I don't remember.
Either way, I really like this game. There are so many different ways that you can go about winning. I think there was one time where I just kept focusing, but my problem is that I always go for the in-game points and I never go for the end of game points.
You go for more in-game as opposed to the end-game bonuses. So it always looks like you're winning.
Correct.
And then sometimes I catch up.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, cool, I have like 220 points. He's like, and I got 180 from all my end of game bonuses.
Not that much. I'll get like 60 from end game bonuses, but that's enough to close the gap sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes not. There was one time I think I won by 1 point.
There was one game where you won by one point, and then our third friend who we had just introduced the game to was literally around the track behind us, and we were like, it's okay, that was your first game. We should have been nicer.
Yes, but it was
She still likes it.
Yeah, she does. And this is, again, like, if anytime anybody wants to play this game, I'm always happy to. Whenever we go out of town on our little mini vacation, we always bring Castles of Burgundy. And yeah, but it's just like, I really, really love this game. The artwork, the way of placing the different hexagons, the way of getting angry when someone takes your little tile.
When someone's going for a full valley full of sheep, you take their sheep. It's the correct way to play the game.
My sheep.
It's the correct way to play the game.
Sheep. Get so many points. It was an A5 area
it was
pasture, and I had double points and everything, and you took my sheep. I have no hard feelings, clearly. Anyway, but yes, I really, 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 really like this game. It's my top one because it's less than long.
And this is number 13 on Board Game Geek. I think it's 13, and it deserves to be there, or even higher. It is a solid game that is, for me, is not as highly rated as it is for her, but I do love this game a lot.
I do, indeed. Those are
your top 11 games plus 3 more side ones for a total of 14 games in true BoardGameCo fashion.
Indeed. I think we have a lot of games. It was really hard to choose.
We have a lot. How do you feel about Spirit Island?
I like Spirit Island.
Top 10?
No.
No, cool. See, I was just wondering. Halfway through, when you're talking about...
It was on my list. I really enjoy it. I really, really, really like it. But when it comes down to how much time do I have to play again, because, life gets hectic and busy, and we do try to make time for games. If I'm going to pull out a game and I'm going to spend an hour on it, Cthulhu, Rise of Moloch, Castles of Burgundy, Spirit Island, I'm like,
That's the problem in general. Although
Cthulhu
now...
Death May Die will usually...
Well, now we've covered 15 games. And so, any case...
Hey, it's rounded number. It's much fun.
Yeah, that would be Rina's top 10 board games of all time. I have no idea what the title of this video will be. Have to be something a little bit catchy, a little bit clickbaity, or just...
No clickbaity, is not nice.
Or just Rina's top 10 favorite board games. We'll figure it out later. Indeed. And in any case, until next time...
It was nice.
No, you watched my videos. Until next time...
I don't remember the end.
Have a good one.
Oh, have a good one. Sorry.
Again. Until next time...
Have a good one.